Yo, this is your Coach Renz, and today I want to talk to you guys about the bull BS that's surrounding the Black Panther movie. And it's good that I'm outside doing that, because that way the wind can blow the BS. It can blow the BS and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna hit these real quick, and I hope you guys stay with me for this short period of time. Now here's the deal, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Black Panther is a movie about T'Challa. He's the king of Wakanda, a fictional African nation, and he is the Black Panther who is imbued by the Panther God to have these powers and abilities that of a little higher superhuman strength, agility, and all these kind of things. Wears a suit made out of vibranium, which protects him, because vibranium is a natural resource that gave the country of Wakanda all this wealth and technologically advanced, and they're the most technologically advanced country in the world. Now, let's go into some of these stupid, asinine, dumb protests. The first one that I want to highlight is the women who are protesting the fact that Michael B. Jordan and then some other people during the world premiere showed up with white women and that they're dating white women. Here's the thing, you want to fight for equality, you want to be treated as equals on every plane of existence, but yet you are going to have an issue with a man being with somebody that he fell in love with. What does it matter what she looks like? Does anybody complain about the person you with? The guy you with, is he short? Is he ugly? Is he tall? Is he broke? Does he have a degree? Does he not have a degree? Does he work? I can find all kind of reasons to complain about the dude that you with. So I should just come and protest you. Do you go and protest a movie like when Michael Caine's in a movie? He's with a melanated woman. Do you protest his movies because he's with a melanated woman? Do you protest somebody else's movie because they're in an interracial relationship? Are you racist? That's the real question that I really want to ask you, because it's asinine the fact that you decide you want to protest a movie based on who somebody dates, who a fictional character dates. But hey, that's your prerogative. It's stupid, but I'll let you have it. Next one, Christian organization, saying that, oh, the Black Panther movie is highlighting the Black Panther Party from the 1960s. Well, you're an idiot. Here's why. Because the Black Panther Party and the Black Panther has nothing to do with each other. They're totally dissimilar from one another. If you actually wanted to protest something that was more similar to the Black Panther Party, you should have been protesting Cage. That's the movie that you should have been protesting, Luke Cage. Because, not movie, but the television series of Luke Cage. Should have protested that one. They say it broke the internet. I don't know. Still working as far as I'm concerned, but it was a great series. But if you go and want to look at the two, then that's the one you should look at, because what was going on with the Black Panther Party? They was there to protect their neighborhoods. They were there to feed the kids in their neighborhood. They had feeding programs. They had reading programs. They had school programs. They were there to show that, hey, if their American right is to carry guns and observe police, then they're gonna avail themselves to their American right. But no, you can't see that. All you see is a black man with a gun, and you want to call him a terrorist because your government told you that he was a terrorist, instead of seeing that them black men, Huey P. Newton, them, were doing the exact same thing that white people were doing all over America, which is availing themselves to their rights to bear arms, availing themselves to their right to witness police in action, and trying to keep drugs off their street and try to raise up good communities. But you can't see that because you're so caught up into what you only saw on TV, and most of the people protesting probably don't even know anything about it, or wasn't even really awake during that time frame. You were probably little babies and don't know nothing about it anyway. But Black Panther is made T'Challa. No, he's a king over an African nation, and he's trying to protect his country. That's about the only similarity you're gonna get. So that's stupid. Another group. You got these black men coming out here talking about how we shouldn't go out and support the Black Panther movie because that even though it's a predominantly black cast, that people who own Marvel, they white, and the people who own the movie production company, they white, and the people who did the distribution company, they white. But here's the thing, dummy. Unless you want to go move to a whole nother country like Haiti where everybody's black, then it ain't gonna work for you to support anything. But let's look at Marvel for just a second. Marvel, a company that has produced comic books that has always been about social change and social needs in America and in the world. Black Panther came out during the 1960s, and what did Stan Lee and Kirby do? Did they make a black king, or did they make somebody in whiteface or buffoonery? You know, I seem to remember when I was a kid, there was some of these most racist cartoons where people had the big lips and the tweezed up hair, and remember the one called Lazy Town? You had all them kind of little stupid racist cartoons going around, and other racist cartoons during the 1970s. But in the 60s, no, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee decided to make a black man a king over his own country that is the most technologically advanced country in the world, that is the wealthiest country in the world. But yet, you can't see that. All you see is a white man. You can't see that the civil rights movement would not have worked if it was all just straight black. No, you had to have a mixture of both black and white. The Civil War wouldn't have worked unless they had a mixture of black and white. Even if you looked at an alternate history and say that what if black people had rose up in America just like the people in Haiti did in 1804, you would have got a different outcome. The Civil War would have flipped. If we'd have done it during the Civil War, then all of a sudden the South, North and the South would have been united. They would have been united against our ancestors because we were not equipped nor ready for something like that to occur. Now, is it possible we could have won? Maybe, possibly. You got to have certain things in place for it to work. But more than likely, as a former military personnel and studying military history, it would have been a hard road to hoe. A hard road to hoe. Not saying it's impossible, but it would have been a hard road to hoe. But here's the main point about that. Now you want to chastise anything that's made that highlights black people. And this one, they're not putting black women in a bad light. They're not putting black men in a bad light. Your kings and queens and your Dora Milaje, who's like the super security force fighter women. You got all this stuff going on, but yet you want to find the negatives because you the super blackity black man. Tell you what, black man, why don't you go into a neighborhood, buy a strip mall, turn that strip mall into something that's owned by all the businesses in there owned by black people, and make sure it's good businesses that's not ripping off black people or just copycats of the same business that you already got in your community, but actually reputable businesses that black people can shop at consistently. Then turn that and open up a bank, and then in your banking system allow people to be able to get financed to buy the houses in their neighborhoods and buy the cars and buy other businesses in their neighborhood. How about you go do that? But I guarantee you'll probably still find a problem in that one is by saying that, well, you still got to pay taxes to the government, which is the white man, and why don't you just move? You're so unhappy here. Just move. Next group that we want to talk about as far as protesting the Black Panther movie is another Christian group that's coming out there saying that, hey, Black Panther is showing the worship of his ancestors and the Panther God, and this paganistic rituals that they go through in there is not good, and we're going to protest it. No Christian just go see it. Let's think about that for just a second. They have an invisible Panther God that nobody can see or prove that exists. They also, when T'Challa takes this herb, he's able to talk to his ancestors, like Lion King. You know, he talked to his ancestors. Kind of like people pray to this statue of St. Mary, St. John, St. Joseph, St. Valentine's, which is coming up. All these kind of prayers of ancestors. But you might say that's Catholic, so we're not part of that one. But then again, you hear pretty much any other Christian, you talk to them about their parents who passed away, and they'll say stuff like, well, yes, I know my mother is still guiding me, and that my mother is in heaven, and I talk to my mom, and I talk to my dad, and my dad is my guardian angel over me. Sounds a lot like spiritual ancestry worship to me. Same thing they showing in Black Panther. Same thing that they have in Africa. The same thing that they have, the Native Americans had here in America, and many other places where people respect their ancestors. So it's the same thing, but yet because it's under your religion, then it's cool. But if it's under somebody else's, then hey, you must be evil. Even though the majority of the world disagree with your beliefs anyway. It's stupid. And hey, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's just a movie. I'm just saying, people, all this protesting, all these people want to be angry and upset over a movie that finally puts black, and I ain't gonna say finally, because there are other movies that put black people in good light, but this is a movie that puts almost all the black people in the movie in a good, positive light, where it's being carried by a black person, where it's being supported by people of all races all over the world. This is like a movie of unification, right? Where everybody in the world is excited about this movie. I am a fanboy of Marvel since I was yay high. Reason why? And even to this day, I have a comic book collection that ended in 1994 is the last time I bought comic books. But in 1994 and going back, I have a comic book collection of over 4,000 titles, right? I am truly a fanboy. That's why I'm going to see this movie, first of all, because I've seen every Marvel movie and the majority of the DC movies, because I'm a Marvel guy, not a DC guy. But I'm a fanboy. And yes, I'm also going to see it because Black Panther is one of the characters that when I saw the pages of Black Panther, when I seen him in the Avengers, when I saw him in his own comic books, when I saw him in crossovers, I had to get it, had to read it, because yes, for a kid growing up in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, this was an important character to my psyche growing up, because it said that a black man can be a king. And yeah, you might say that, oh, it's just a comic book. Hey, it's just etchings on the walls in Egypt. It's just etchings on tablets in Sumeria. It's just etchings in any other part of the world. If you want to call the comic book just a comic book, then your etchings are just etchings. But they're all not. They all have psychological impacts. And that's why we're going to see this movie. That's why we're supportive of this movie. That's why we're hyped about this movie. Now, I do have one letdown for you that I'm going to go ahead and throw out there. We're going to throw this one out. Well, and it's this. Look at this crap. It's just pure racism. That's all that is. Just pure racism. But it's okay. It's okay. You can't do nothing about stupid. You can't, I mean, stupid does. But that's just stupidity. And we're just going to ignore that one and keep on moving, because that one's not going to make any difference. Just like those fools with the Rotten Tomatoes are not going to make a difference. Here's the thing about that one. If you wanted to protest Star Wars, then go protest Star Wars. Go protest George Lucas. You are specifically picking out the Black Panther movie because you're racist, like the person who created this image here. You're racist in that format simply because Star Wars has had issues for many years prior, but you didn't protest Thor Ragnarok. You didn't protest Doctor Strange. You didn't protest those. Let me guess why. The main stars of those movies are Caucasian. Yeah. So you're just stupid, and you're just racist, and you're just showing your racism. If you have a problem with Star Wars, go protest Star Wars. Go protest, I think Warner Brothers own them. Go protest them. I'm a Star Trek person, not so much Star Wars, so hey, go protest those guys. But at the end of the day, me and my family, we're going to go see this movie. I'm a fanboy one, and yeah, because of the cast and the movie and the character. I love the character. So we're going to go see this movie, and it's going to be a great movie. We're going to have a great time. Oh, and one more letdown for you. Sorry. One more. Yes, this movie has already outsold in pre-sales any other movie. Yes, this movie will probably break all kind of box office records. It will be the highest grossing movie for Marvel until this summer when Infinity War comes out. If I'm a betting man. Now, this movie may be better than Infinity War. It's kind of like an NBA playoff game is better than the finals. But all these movies have led up to Infinity War. In the magazine, the Infinity Quest, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars is a huge story arc in Marvel. Infinity War is going to break the bank as well. Just because of the fandom, just because of all the years leading up to it, it will break. And this movie will push you towards Infinity War, because T'Challa is going to be part of Infinity War. Wakanda is going to be a major part of Infinity Wars. So you're going to go, you're going to watch it. Hey, and just to make you feel better, in the comics, at one point, King T'Challa, Black Panther, he held the Infinity Gauntlet. He controlled the Infinity Gauntlet. So hey, black man has one of the most powerful things in the world. That'll make you feel better. But yeah, I'm happy for either way. However it goes, it's gonna be great. Oh, one last thing. Sorry, it's gonna be great because I talked about the box office. That reminded me of the last stupidity that I saw. The last stupidity that I saw was an article where a guy was saying that since they make this movie and it's geared towards black people and they've been marketing it towards black people, that Marvel should give 25% of the profits of this movie to STEM programs in the black community. Well, that's just stupid. All right, how about you take your organization and you go buy a plaza, put good black businesses in that plaza, eventually have a bank, and then have that bank to work with those black people in financial literacy so that they can then buy the houses in their community. How about you go do that instead of asking somebody else who took the time since the 1960s to build a character during the 1960s when people were going through the civil rights movement, who built the X-Men, who were demonstrating also how people were misjudged based on their genetics instead of being based on the character who they are. How about you tell the organization that has been a community advocate, a human rights advocate ever since its inception, how about you tell that company thank you, because you put $90 million into the Georgia economy just in making that movie in an area that is predominantly black, and in an area that gave so many jobs to black people. How about you tell a studio that has put all their movies here in Georgia now that thank you because you put a lot of money into this economy where there's a lot of black folks that are involved in getting jobs. How about you just say thank you for putting a character on the big screen worldwide that is a king? How about that? And how about you just go and you create your own money and do something in the community your damn self, instead of feeling like you have the right to tell somebody else what to do with their money. Ugh. Drives me insane. It's about as bad as the black church that's sitting on a hill that's huge and humongous, surrounded by the hood. Yeah. So we're going to go see this movie. I hope you guys go see this movie. I hope that none of this protest BS caused you to even think twice about seeing this movie. Nothing but positive energy. I just want to get that negative out so that I can walk in my positive. Y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.